Hey everybody, welcome to Cardboard Commander. My name is Jerry, and today we're going to do an impromptu after action report for ASL starter kit. We're looking at, excuse me, we're looking at scenario. I just finished playing this live on Vassal, and I thoroughly got my butt kicked, and so I thought I would kind of walk through this and maybe ask a couple of questions for those of you who play a lot of ASL starter kit, and just what would you guys have done in this situation, because obviously my situation didn't work very well. So the scenario is S115 out of the starter kit magazine. So I don't know if you guys remember that, but starter kit magazine. So it's a scenario 115. It's called Task. What was it? Task Force Sparks. And so the whole object of this game is this: is it's trying to get. So I played the Americans. So the Germans are defending the city here, and the victory conditions are as follows: the Germans win the game. When at game end, if they have good order units that can hypothetically apply greater than 8 firepower, but disregarding rate of fire, blah, 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 into any one road hex along the XY10 to C5 I10 road. So basically, anybody who can apply some firepower to this road, right, in a certain situation. So my job is to go and basically clear these people out, right? So clear these folks out so they're not, and when I say these folks here, right, you got to clear these guys out so they can't lay firepower into these areas, up here, right? So they can't lay firepower into those areas. So, and they had to set up, they could set up anywhere on the board, on board X, in less than or equal to 4. So they could have set up all the way up to here, which they did the smart thing by not doing that. They set up back, or they could set up on this board here, which was Y, which they did. I was playing Thomas. There is a hidden gun. So the 50's up here. So he's hidden. And what I was thinking down here was, I was thinking that he would hide it, because here's where I thought he might hide the gun. So I thought he might hide it here or here. I didn't think he would hide it here. I thought he might hide it here, or he could hide it down here, right? Just to cover the road that was coming up. So, because I get some tanks that come in on turn 2, which I goofed up, and you guys will see that as well when we start talking about it. So I decided to come in with 2 big fire groups. So I decided to come in with these 2 big fire groups. So my plan was to come down here and lay fire onto these guys, and then these guys would kind of sweep around the end. I would use my bazooka guy to kind of go look for the hidden placement gun as well. So that was the plan. I see 4 people are here. If you're here, just give me a thumbs up. You don't have to say anything, but I would appreciate a thumbs up. I know this was a very impromptu thing. I just decided to go live and do it because, again, I hate to edit, so I didn't want to do that. So we started. So again, this was my initial setup. So what I did is, you'll see, I'm just going to scroll through the file here, and we will. You can kind of see. Hey, Mark, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. And so so we'll start going through the file. So again, you can see at the very top there, I'm scrolling through the file. So we start off, that's where I was moving. So we decided to go down here. And this is where, and then I moved these guys. So I wanted to move these guys where they went, and then these guys over here, I wanted to keep them out of line of sight from these gentlemen over here. So, Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, I used to play a lot of ASL. I had every component, spent way too much money. So I decided I would purge myself about 8 years ago and I sold everything, but I still had the itch. So I went to starter kit. So I'm only playing starter kit. That's all I'm playing. So, um, but it's been good. So a lot easier to rule. I don't, the rule book's 50 pages instead of, you know, 150 pages, so a little easier to keep track of. So I did have smoke, Mike, and in fact, that's funny that you say that because I didn't use it, and it came back to haunt me. So I should have used it. Again, I thought I could rush up a little quicker, and I paid for it. And so again, these guys here, yeah, and the smoke exponent was a 3, so it was fairly easy to use smoke. And I should have. Well, as you'll see, I should have tried that. So we'll keep going. So over here, I just wanted to stay out of line of sight, which I did, and then get into these buildings so I could lay down some firepower here and try to get those guys out. So basically, the first part of the turn worked out pretty well. So as you can see, we advanced through the turn pretty quickly. Now we're at my advanced phase. So we just advanced. And so the close combat, and then now we're on to his turn. So technically, after the first part of my movement, I was pretty satisfied in what was going on. I was going to be able to lay a bunch of fire because next turn I'll be able to assault move into here and be able to lay some fire down. I could have CX'd, I guess, and push my luck, but I didn't. I didn't realize how fast turns were going to move, and so I kind of hurt myself a little bit there. So we'll go ahead and go forward here. So now on the next turn, so basically, so then we were going. So now defensive fire phase, advancing fire. So again, that's how fast the turn went. So now we're on the turn 2. So he basically didn't do much, which I wouldn't have done either. He just kind of had to hang out. So now we were to turn 2, right? So that's when I should have brought in these guys. And I had them by the turn track so we wouldn't forget to bring them in. Well, guess what we did? We forgot to bring them in. So that was big mistake number 1 because basically, look, these aren't great. They're not bad, but I was going to use it to go find the hidden placement gun, use one as kind of a guinea pig, and go from there. But I didn't get to do that until this. Well, you'll see a little later. So now so then I start off prep fire movement phase. I don't do any prep fire movement. I assault move into here, which is what I wanted to do. Now this is where I should have used smoke, Mike, and I shouldn't have moved the big stack. Yeah, I shouldn't. I made a couple big mistakes, big rookie mistakes here by moving the big stack. So so I went there. So of course he's got line of sight. I was pretty sure he had line of sight. Yeah, so he had line of sight. And then this unit here, they didn't have line of sight, but this unit did have line of sight. So as you can imagine, so he goes to fire there, which I would have done too. So range of 6. So he's firing with 4, and then the medium machine gun is 9. And so he had a 9 down 3 shot because moving in the open, non-assault move, and he's got a -1 leader. So bad things could happen here, right? Well, you guessed it. So watch this. He rolls a 4, which is a 2 KIA. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Let me go pull up my chart just to make sure. On the so not only did I just move in the open and make a bad mistake, but he made me pay for it by moving in the open. So yeah, that one hurt a little bit. So if you open the charts, that's not the right chart. So if you open the chart on the IIFT, which is what he likes to use, so a 9 down 3, and he rolled a 4 is a 2 KIA. So not a good way to start the game. So we randomly selected. So the bad thing is we lost 2 squads right away. So that one hurt a little bit. And then, of course, we broke. The leader hung out, which was actually good, but he left residual firepower there. So then this guy starts moving in the back there. And again, right there, he's in the open again. So fires a 9. So I keep moving, and then he final fired. So I'm okay. Besides losing those guys, of course. So then I start moving. Yeah, I was just showing him where I moved. I was trying to move too far. So now there's 2 resid there. So now my bazooka guy, I moved the squad up, and then the bazooka guy moved to there. Now it's defensive fire phase. So his defensive fire phase. So he fired there to there. And he used that other squad too. Again, look at that roll, folks. So in the defensive fire phase, he had, so these guys were within range. So he got to use 4 firepower there. Then he added 3 more. Then he added 2 more. So, and then he rolls a 9 or a 3. So he breaks. Then the machine gun decides to continue to fire. Nothing happened there. So now the advancing fire phase. So now I get to lay down some fire. So this is exactly what I wanted. So basically I wanted to get rid of this stack and this stack, right? Those were the two dangerous stacks. So, and I should have separated the fire, but I went with one big fire group because for one thing, they're halved, right? So here I went with 3, 6, 10. So I went with a 10 there. I rolled a 4, which was okay. And then he rolled a 9. So basically, and then so here he ELRs. So I need to double check this. So if a leader ELRs, he wounds, I take it. And then so does he ELR and wound? I guess it's both. I need to look that up. But we played it as both. So you can see here where he went down and then he broke. So that was kind of ugly. But so that worked out the way I wanted it to work out, right? So then so that worked out. Then my my route phase, I was able to go back from here. I was able to go back into the woods. So that was good, which was the plan. I would be able to route him back into there. So I had a good plan for if something bad happened, which it did. Again, I shouldn't have moved that much. He had to low crawl here, and I was hoping I could get some firepower on him here if those guys bounced back, but of course they didn't. So we go to the advance phase. I advance there, and now we're to his turn 2, the Axis turn 2. So now he tries to rally down here, which he doesn't do. So he stays, so there he stays DM'd, right, down here. My guy's up here. So my guy's basically he didn't come back, but he takes the DM off, so that was fine. Now it's the Axis turn too. So prep fire, he didn't do any movement. He decided he was going to move some people. And all he did here was move that squad up there. And now he started doing exactly what I thought he would do, is trying to get people up to this hedge line up here. Because now, of course, right, you want to spread guys out so you can lay firepower onto those places, just so you have victory places to go to. So he did that. And then down here, he basically just moved guys around as well, trying to move people up. I'm kind of going through this fast. Okay, so now defensive fire phase. So I fired a 13 from here. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 down 1. So he was in the woods. So 13 flat there. I rolled a 6, which was good, right? So not bad. He didn't cower. But he rolls a 4 and he makes it. Then we've got another check there. So I'm trying to figure out which ones to shoot at. So I decided to shoot at the same ones over there at a 10 plus. And he pinned. So out of two pretty good fire shots, all that dude was pinned. So I was hoping I could knock him back so he would have to go back so I could come forward a little bit, if that makes sense to you guys. So now we go advancing fire phase, Axis, now the route phase, so he could go back, and now he's in the building, so that was good. Advancing fire phase, and then he advanced up. So he just moved all the bottom guys up here a little bit. Sorry about that. So he just moved everybody up, close combat. Now this is where I was getting a little concerned. Now we're already to turn 3, and the game's only 5 game turns. So it's getting a little concerning now. And then, of course, I forgot to bring these guys in last turn. So now I'll bring those guys in. But first, we clean up. I put the tanks on the stadium, and then now I decide. So rally phase. So he comes back. So which was good. Now he's trying to come back over here, and he doesn't rally right away, but he does lose the DM. Now for here, prep fire phase again. So I'm firing a 13. And look at that, folks. So I break the gun. So break the machine gun and basically tried to kill everybody in my own hex, I think. And so that wasn't good. So that didn't do anything. So then I decided to just go move because time's running out. So I move these squad over here into the forest because I'm looking for that hidden placement gun. So if that hidden placement gun would have been here or here, he would have had to show him. It wasn't there. So now my bazooka guy, he goes back. Now, again, probably should have tried. You know, he was fine going there. Probably should have tried to play smoke to protect him. But now these guys, so they move up. And, of course, now they're going to take some fire. So he didn't fire. So now the movement here, this is where it gets sketchy, Mike. I should have so my idea was to run around the outside and to try to get through. Again, 3 smoke exponent, right? So when I move there, of course, I can be fired on. So I go, yeah, so he fires on me there. So this light machine gun is going to fire. So he rolls an 8. I rolled a 6, so I was fine. But when I pressed my luck. So when I moved there, now he's got firepower from there. He rolls a 9, no big deal, right? But he puts 1 resid there. So now I go to move this group, right? So now I go to move the medium machine gun. And so I try to do kind of the same thing with him. So I go around the corner here. That was 3, 4, 5. And when I move here, that's 6, right? So now he opens up with the machine gun on the bottom to there. Range 8. He's got range, of course. So then he can also fire at half firepower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see. Yeah, so he was able to fire there just fine. So then look at that. So he rolls a 5. So of course it's down 2 or down 3, not assault move, firing the open. No, down 2. So I roll, I break. So now this is another concern, right? So the first roll was the leader, and the leader rolled a 7, and then I shouldn't have ELR'd there. So, because the ELR was 3. So what was his morale check? It was a 2 morale check. So 7, 8, 9, 10, and he rolls. Yeah, so I don't know if he should have been wounded there. I need to look at that. And then I was eliminated because of the die roll, right? So again, I don't know if we did that correctly. I need to check that and see if that was done correctly. And then of course he breaks and he ELRs. So now we're in trouble, right? Because now this whole side's decimated and it's going to take them a while to get going. So now my tank's up here. So now my thinking was I got to go find the hidden placement gun. So I come down the road and I figure here, that gun's either here, or here, right? So, and I'm kind of pointing out where I think the guns are at, right? So I thought it was really here. Well, when I move down there, of course, he pops the gun out. So it's a side shot there. He needs like a 9 to hit. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. He gets a 5 to hit on the hole. Yeah. So, and that's what happened here, Mike. So I still thought there was a little hope, but then this kind of sealed it. So he gets a hit from the gun to kill. He's got a 9, so he makes that a wreck, and then that's where I concede. I'm like, I'm done, right? So again, I think it's a tough scenario for the Americans because you got to make up a lot of ground, and to keep them from being able to fire on that road, that's a tough one. Mike, do you have the magazine? Have you played any of these scenarios? A lot of them have a lot of special rules, so we tried to pick the one that didn't have a lot of special rules. But again, moving the tanks in late hurt. Not using smoke because I could have utilized the smoke a little better. He had some good die rolls, which helped, right? But I had some good die rolls too, so can't complain about that at all. But folks, that's what happens when you do stupid stuff in ASL, right? Or starter kit. You moving in a big group is bad, especially when there's no smoke. The moving in the open and non-assault move is uh, yeah, right. That is exactly true. You're right, Mike. So again, moving in the open, non-assault move. I shouldn't have done that. I should have placed some smoke. I was fine. I should have got in turn two. I should have did what I did here. So even if you would have got rid of one of the tanks, I would have at least known where that gun was at, and we could have went from there. Um, but again, yeah, it's one of those things you got to really attack quickly and hope things are going on. And of course, hope's not good, right? So as Mike pointed out. So, folks, I just wanted to do a quick little after action report. I'm glad you all glad somebody came by and checked it out. Mike, we'll talk to you. I know you've got looks like you have a conflict on Monday nights. Jester was saying that you do a game so we'll have to pick another night and get you on so we can play Wolfpack and all that. I'm gonna talk to Jester and try to figure out what's the best night for you. And you might have taken off already, so I'll reach out to you and oh, there you go. Any day but Monday. Okay, cool. And so we'll reach out to you and work that out. I think we're going to get Jester, Christoph, and myself to play, so that'll be a lot of fun. And all right, everybody. Well, that's the end of this misery for today. So until next time, be safe, be kind, happy wargaming, everybody. Take care.